Hey guys, it's Vanessa here with Notary to Notary, and in this video, we're going to go over the steps that you need to take in order to complete a successful and error-free loan closing. Ready to get started? Okay guys, so let's say you just booked your first signing appointment. Congratulations! So the very first thing you're going to do is check your notary confirmation or your signing appointment confirmation. It's going to be an email that you're going to receive that's going to tell you everything that you need to know about completing that signing appointment. It's going to tell you what kind of loan you're signing, where you're signing, who you're signing with, any special stipulations like signing in blue or collecting certain documents. So you want to make sure you read your confirmation. And this is a mistake that new notaries and seasoned notaries can make too. So new notaries may forget because they're just so nervous and panicking that they forget to read everything in the notary confirmation. But seasoned notaries like myself can still make mistakes because we tend to say, oh, we've done this a million times, and we may forget to look over the confirmation because we're assuming it's the same thing that we've always done. But it could be something brand new the company just started doing, or maybe there's a new law in a certain state, something like that will make the confirmation be different. So always read your email confirmation. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to call and confirm the appointment with the signer. Now, when you call the signer, you just want to confirm some of the basic information that you found in the confirmation. So, for example, their name, the signing location, the type of signing that you're doing, and if they need any additional documents to provide to you at the signing, such as maybe ID copies, social security cards, any utility bills, voided checks, things like that. You want to make sure that you say those things during the initial confirmation phone call, so when you show up to the appointment, they're already prepared for you. You don't have to wait sitting at the table for them to go find documents, okay? So that's going to help shorten that signing time too. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to print your loan package. Now, every company is different, but most companies have a disclaimer that basically says don't print these docs more than 2 hours before the signing. They basically say that because let's say that you print the docs off the day before. I don't know if you've ever closed on a loan personally, but docs change all the time. Underwriting will say, oh, add this or this may change. And so if you print them a day or two before, it's a possibility the docs may change. And so what they're saying is if you print it more than 2 to 6 hours, depending on the company, before the signing, they're not going to pay you an extra print fee. If you're not familiar with print fees, it's basically a fee that you're being paid to print those docs. So let's say you print the docs within the allotted time, 2 to 6 hours, whatever they say, and they say, oh wait, new docs, can you print this off? They'll pay you an additional print fee to print the new docs. Okay, so you're going to print your documents off. When you print those documents off, really important is that you print as they're formatted. Okay, so sometimes loan documents will come formatted letter and legal, or all letter or all legal, which is why we say you want to have a dual tray laser jet printer. Okay, a dual tray printer will detect automatically when you fix the settings how the document is formatted, and it will automatically pull from each tray based off how the document's formatted, whether it's legal or letter. Other thing when you're printing is you want to make sure that the documents are not cut off. That sometimes can happen, and it's not necessarily because your printer was not set up right. Sometimes the documents are just formatted weird. So let's say they're formatted letter or however it looks, it still comes off a little not. So basically when you print them, you want to make sure you can see the top, you can see the bottom, like the signature lines, and nothing is cut off. That's a big mistake a lot of notaries make, where they print everything and signature lines are cut off or verbiage is cut off and they can't execute those documents. So when you print, you want to go just flip through or go through each page individually and just make sure that all pages are actually printed off and they're not cut off. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to arrive at your signing appointment. When you get to your signing appointment, of course, you're going to do your pleasantries. Well, hello. My name is Vanessa. I'm here to do your closing. However you want to introduce yourself, okay? Once you get to that signing table, you want to make sure that you ask the signer for their ID because you're still a notary and you need to validate their identity, right? After you've validated their identity, whatever process that you use for your state, you're then going to begin to execute those documents. Super duper important, especially if you're new, to take your time. One of my rules of thumbs that I usually tell my students is, when in doubt, sign it anyway. And I say that because a lot of times notaries that are new will say, well, I don't think they're supposed to sign this page. And they were supposed to sign it. And a lot of times, like, documents are different all the time. It just depends on the lender, depends on the title company, depends on the state. And so what I usually say, let's say you have a loan package and there's a page in there that you're not sure they're gonna sign. If there's one, I think it says, I forgot. A lot of people are getting this messed up. But let's say you have a document, you're like, I don't know if they're supposed to sign it, and it's the only signature line on there, and they sign it. Let's say they sign a page that the loan officer is gonna sign. When that package comes back, all they're gonna do is take that document, shred it, put the blank document in, and have the loan officer sign it. But let's say it's a page that was supposed to be signed, and you didn't have them sign it. When that package goes back, they're gonna call you and say, hey, we need this re-signed, right? So when in doubt, sign it anyway, okay? It's one of my little rules of thumbs for new notaries. Take your time, look for signature lines, but also look for initials. So if you've done closings recently, you've noticed the uniform residential loan application is different than previous years. On, I think it's the first page, it's like 2 pages in the several page document that now has initial lines. A lot of people miss that. Okay, so look for initial lines. It could be small, that could be at the bottom, that could be, usually they're at the bottom of the pages, or they'll be in the middle. It's like a small line. It usually will say initial. Okay, so people typically will miss initial lines, check boxes, things like that. So take your time and look for things to be filled out. Kind of think of it like homework, right? You want to make sure everything's completed as much as possible. It can be confusing because some things they don't fill out. And there's no one loan fits all, right? They're all going to be different. All the docs, different lenders have different docs. So they're going to be different. And there's no way to see every single possible version of a signing before you start signing. So you kind of got to just get out there and wing it. It's the best way I can say to get out there. But rule of thumb, look for signatures, look for initials, take your time. When in doubt, have them sign it anyway. The next thing you want to do is make sure all your notarial sections are correct. So notarize your documents correctly. So in most states, there is like 1 or 2 states that don't require a notary seal when you do notary acts, but most states require a seal. So if you're filling out a notarial section, make sure you stamp it. A lot of notaries miss that. They say, well, I'm not sure if it was supposed to be stamped because it didn't say the word seal. Sometimes when you're completing notarial acts, it'll say seal, and you'll know, oh, let me stamp here. Sometimes it won't, but read your handbook, right? So every state is different, but most states will tell you your notarial section is only complete when you have that notary stamp, in addition to other things like state of, county of it, your notarial verbiage, registration, commission, signature, right? So make sure you're looking for notarial sections that, have that state of, county of, that kind of leads you into it, so you know that it's a notary section and you actually complete it correctly. One thing I say, and I have a video that kind of breaks down notarial acts, and I'll do another one for you guys too, but read it. Make sure it makes sense. Read it out loud. A lot of times notarial sections are kind of like in old English, so it doesn't read like how we talk today. But it should still make sense. So once you complete it, read it out loud to yourself. Does that make sense? If it doesn't, we may have made a mistake there, okay? But take your time and read your notarial section. The next thing you're going to do is you're either going to do scan backs or fax backs if the company asks for them. And then you're going to drop the documents off to the FedEx or UPS location, whichever label they gave you, the company gave you. If for some reason you got a closing, you got docs, and you didn't get a label, that's okay. It happens sometimes. Just call or email the company that gave you the job and say, hey, I'm missing a label. Can you send it to me? They will send it to you. If you're missing a label, do not go to FedEx and pay for it anyway. Okay? Please don't do that. Just call or email and say, hey guys, I need a shipping label. They will send it to you. No problem. Okay? Drop your docs off, get a receipt. I typically will send a follow-up email, just, wrapping it up. Hey, I dropped docs. Here's the borrower's ID copy. If it's scan backs, here's the scan backs. If they need an invoice, here's my invoice. And then, hey, if you need anything else in addition to assist in this particular order closing, please let me know. And that's how you pretty much close it out. Okay, so that's all your basic steps, basically, when it comes to conducting a successful loan closing. You can do this, okay? If you need more help, training, advice, coaching, definitely find me online at notarytonotary.com. We recommend, of course, starting with the Ultimate Notary Training Bundle that's going to teach you notary signing agent, general notary work, e-notary, and tax and financial management for your business. So definitely get into that training. And of course, until next time, happy signing.